Ladies and gentlemen, the role of the Energy, Sustainability and Climate Task Force in B20 is to share the views of the business community to support the energy transition agenda through policy recommendation to the G20 leaders. Also, the task force acts as a bridge between business community and stakeholders, as well as to form partnership and collaboration as a catalyst to accelerate the energy transition goals and targets. Energy, Sustainability and Climate B20 theme is one of the most ambitious B20 task force with 8 co-chairs from key players of the energy industry and 150 executives from G20 countries. We are also grateful to be supported by knowledge and network partners in formulating the comprehensive policy recommendation and business action. We also include the young generation in the team task force to be involved in the whole process, as we see the important role of the youth in the energy transition. Hence, we expect their contribution in involvement in the task force. The role of business in the energy transition agenda is aligned with Energy Transition Working Group priority issues. The business community is imperative for 3 key pillars of the energy transition, which are: first, securing energy accessibility; second, smart and clean energy technology scale-up; and 3, advanced energy financing. From the 3 pillars, we are currently deriving our factors of action, which are translated to the recommendation and action as our 3 key priority of recommendation, which are: the first recommendation is to accelerate the transition to sustainable energy use by reducing carbon intensity. This can be achieved by energy efficiency, phase down of inefficient coal power plants, emission mitigation on hard-to-abate sector, ease of financing flow, and climate innovation technologies. Energy efficiency is one of the key pillars to decarbonization. Achieving this requires the combination of adopting energy efficiency, technology, behavioral change, and electrification that G20 countries can support through developing clear government pathways, financial and non-financial incentive, infrastructure development and access, and cross-country and intra-country collaboration. Phase down coal-fired generation and accelerating renewable energy deployment as one way to address global warming and climate change. Carbon emission from coal-fired generation will have to be reduced through multiple ways and must be adjusted based on countries' circumstances. For this initiative, we recommend G20 countries to set up sustainable source biomass supply for biomass co-firing, facilitate the adoption of sustainable ammonia co-firing, CCUS, and motivate the retirement of old inefficient plants and accelerate deployment of renewable energy. We also recommend accelerating carbon emission mitigation from the hard-to-abate sectors of the economy, where government can look at increasing the adoption of biofuels and blue and green hydrogen. Industry incentivization, support for innovation, and devising clear framework and target for this alternative fuel in the future will be key to accelerate the decarbonization of the hard-to-abate sectors. Ease of financing flow from developed country to developing country are very crucial in the clean energy transition. The availability of capital is vital. Financing flow can also be difficult for many developing countries due to lack of data on country-level climate risk and vulnerability data, limited information services that can be used to guide investment decision-making, lack of clarity on the government's capital investment gap to achieving transition goal, and or where private investment is needed, and low perceived of actual risk-adjusted return on investment. We recommend setting up a public policy to incentivize green investment, enable global coordination, and harmonizing sustainable finance taxonomies, and support the move to global reporting standards that give relevant information to investors and other stakeholders. Climate and innovation technology are critical enablers of delivering climate change successfully. This can be applied to all areas that contribute to carbon emission, like manufacturing, electricity generation, and others. However, each country should consider its own resources and capability to catalyze innovation. Accelerating climate innovation can be supported by establishing clear government pathway and programs, laying out policy and regulation for climate innovation, funding support, and fostering global and international ecosystem model. As such, it will be much appreciated to acquire the support of business community on our recommendation in energy transition through global collaboration to share knowledge and financing for innovating new technology or current technology, such as CCUS, especially for the hard-to-abate sector, renewable and hydrogen technology. Ladies and gentlemen, the second recommendation is to ensure a just, orderly, and affordable transition to sustainable energy use. This can be achieved by addressing four key areas: orderly transition primary energy source, medium-small enterprise participation in energy transition, workforce transition readiness, and sustainable mining practice. Orderly transition in primary energy sources is important, as energy transition should not jeopardize energy security. The policy paper has considered alternative energy sources such as natural gas, hydrogen, nuclear power, hydropower, and other depending on the stage of each country, as there is no one-size-fits-all solution. Thus, G20 countries should establish a short-term roadmap to accelerate phase down of carbon intensity fossil fuel, clear nuclear energy policy and application, and global support on developing institutional capacity and government frameworks. Micro, small, and medium enterprise are a crucial component of economic growth in developed and developing countries. They are able to participate in the energy value chain, for example, waste collection for biofuel. Thus, it is crucial that G20 countries promote incentive, funding accessibility, and educational programs to alleviate the finance and capacity constraints faced by micro, small, and medium enterprise who want to participate in energy transition activities. Workforce transition must be accelerated given the rapid pace of climate transition to respond not only to direct job affected but also indirect impact and future workforce. Thus, it is important that G20 countries conduct long-term strategic workforce planning, set up policy and regulation to support inclusive upskilling and timely workforce reskilling for energy transition. This can be enabled by global collaboration and regulatory incentives. The fourth one is on sustainable mining practice. The global attempt on mitigating climate change will require a substantial amount of critical minerals to build clean and low-carbon energy technology. The environmental and social impact from mining activity need to be addressed together with positive government practice in order to help alleviate the adverse impact. Therefore, it is important that G20 countries promote the adoption of globally accepted reporting standards, support funding and incentive to reduce, reuse, recycle, and repurpose in mining, conduct targeted training and upskilling program, and cooperate between countries to accelerate the implementation of sustainable mining practice. As such, it will be much appreciated to acquire the support from the business community through sharing of knowledge, opening up investment and financing opportunity, and resources for low-carbon fuel like gas and nuclear or practice in circular economy will be highly appreciated in order to transition the energy sources in a just and fair manner. Ladies and gentlemen, the third recommendation is to enhance consumer-level access to consume clean, modern energy. This can be supported by deploying integrated energy solution, clean energy access to household and micro, small, and medium enterprise, and broad-basing of the transition. Deploying integrated electricity access solutions are crucial to expand energy access and enhance economic prosperity. However, they are still lagging electricity access target, especially in developing countries. A combination of key enablers is to be enforced for off-grid and microgrid, such as supportive regulation and policy, robust financing support, and strong community enablement. For grid extension, it is also crucial to consider the implementation of supporting market structure, for example, open access for transition and distribution grid. The quantity of greenhouse gas emitted from home electricity and micro, small, and medium energy consumption are increasing over time, driven by population and economic growth. Thus, the adoption of clean and modern energy should be promoted not only to reduce the greenhouse gas emitted, but also the cost saving benefited by household and micro, small, and medium enterprise. Therefore, G20 countries should support the adoption of clean and modern end-use technology by providing incentive, financing, infrastructure accessibility, upskilling, and awareness program to household and micro, small, and medium enterprises. Broad-basing of the transition, especially across the developing country of the G20 and beyond, will require a range of measures targeted at reducing the cost of the required energy transition investment to address affordability barriers. G20 countries should ring-fence their carbon pricing revenue from fossil fuel subsidy reform, carbon tax, and permit auction for energy transition investment, and earmark a portion of carbon pricing revenue in developed countries for funding a pool of capital to finance energy transition investment in developing countries, and to allow listing and trading of emission reduction generated from projects in developing countries in the emission trading system of developed countries as a way of channeling finance to developing countries. As such, it will be much appreciated to acquire the support from the business community through intra-nation collaboration to accelerate consumer-level access to clean and modern energy solutions, such as affordable energy efficient technology for household and micro and small medium enterprises can greatly benefit our recommendation. That wraps up the recommendation and policy action from Energy, Sustainability and Climate Task Force. Given the urgency of situation, we need greater vision and ambition and greater commitment to innovate, inclusive, and also collaborative action. And we need it now. Businesses understand this better than most, as the long-term sustainability of our business is linked to the need of our stakeholders. We cannot miss this opportunity to act. Thank you.